being discovered. Consumers here in North America and all over the world are looking for what we have. Safe and effective natural products for their homes and their families. They are coming to Melaleuca, to the tune of tens of thousands of households each month. They are looking for the wellness company, and they will find us. The question is, are you the one who's going to introduce them to us? Someone's going to, so why not you? But that's your decision. Only you can decide whether you're going to share Melaleuca with them. I can tell you this, though. If you do make that decision, it will be worth it. If you make that decision to go to work and share Melaleuca, you will change your life and countless others in the process. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dolores Ray, and I live up here in Collingwood, Ontario, and I've been a member of Melaleuca for the past 24 years. Along the way, over the 24 years, I've also referred a few other people to Melaleuca. And Melaleuca has been sending me a check every month that averages about $120 over those 24 years. And it's added up to a total of $35,676. So over the years, that money has allowed me to pay for my products each month and to buy quality products, and they're being paid for.
I'm Lynn Menendez, and I am coming to you from Knoxville, Tennessee, is where I live. And I first enrolled in Melaleuca in 2004 and have been shopping every month since then and love all the products that I have gotten. Another side benefit of Melaleuca and shopping Melaleuca is that I can earn additional income. When I find somebody that I think will be interested in the products, that I can help with these products, I tell them about Melaleuca. So for all these years that I've been shopping with Melaleuca, I have gotten a check every single month. And so right now my check is, between $200 and $300 a month. And it's been like that consistently for years. With that consistent paycheck, I noticed that I have earned over $47,000 with Melaleuca in the years that I've been with them.
Okay, everyone, let's talk products. After all, Melaleuca products are the driving force behind your residual income. Real customers buying real products month after month for a lifetime. Let's hear from Melaleuca's Senior Vice President of Marketing, Patrick Jones.
1 year ago today, Sebela introduced our uniquely innovative approach to skincare. 4 exceptional collections targeting the primary skin concerns of women everywhere. There's no better product on the market than Sebela. Inspired by nature and proven by science, Sebela's true difference is to create high-performance skincare products that promote beautiful, healthy, younger-looking skin. A line that combines the best of nature and science, safe, clean, and relentlessly tested for effectiveness. Putting our money not into celebrity endorsements or costly advertising, but into the performance of the products we create. Every day, new beauty and influencer-based brands appear on the market, claiming to be the most effective, the most innovative, the most natural, the most in-trend something. They build themselves up based on buzz or viral videos, often using a celebrity or hot new influencer to make them appear more desirable. I've worked for those brands. I've led those brands, and let me tell you how Sebela is different. It's all about purpose, vision, mission, and values, and an unwavering commitment to safety and well-being for the customer. It's our never-ending commitment to put people above profits, performance above margins, and only using the finest and most effective ingredients possible. We are a mission-driven business, not just in word, but in everyday action. Sebela is truly wellness-inspired beauty. Whether it's color cosmetics, hair care, or skin care, beauty categories are constantly transforming. With new science and technologies and new ingredients discovered daily, the only thing constant in this industry is change. Here at Melaleuca, we spend every day working closely together with a singular goal: to consistently challenge ourselves to only offer our customers the very best. Having worked for over 15 years in the beauty industry and now as head of the Sebela brand, I'm very pleased to be working with some of the brightest, most innovative minds I've ever encountered. Each of our scientists and R&D specialists have come with impressive big brand companies to join us in Idaho Falls. Like all of the Melaleuca team, they're here with the unified desire to enhance lives and to settle for nothing but the best, building on an infectious spirit of innovation. Proven by science, but always inspired by nature, Sabella is excited to announce our 5th and most advanced line of skincare, Sabella's Advanced Microbiome Support. Take a look.
My biggest skincare concern is anti-aging because I want to look young forever.
Really, all of it. I'm aging, so loss of elasticity, my discoloration, hydration would probably be the biggest. As I've gotten older, I've noticed that my skin gets drier than it did when I was younger.
My biggest skincare concern is my fine lines, the wrinkles, and at my age, a little sagginess in my skin.
Lines and wrinkles and hyperpigmentation.
I'm 35, so I'm worried about those wrinkles, the fine lines, and aging, but I still get acne like a 16-year-old sometimes.
I'm almost 42, and those fine lines and wrinkles are creeping up, and I want to just make sure that I not only take care of my skin, but that it continues to look youthful so I can keep up with my 5 kids and my 4-year-old.
My biggest skincare concern is sagging and wrinkles. There is absolutely no doubt about that.
My biggest concern in my skin is about pigmentation. When you start aging, the pigmentation start getting more noticed, and it's something that always worries me about it.
As our body's largest organ, the skin is under constant bombardment by environmental aggressors every day. From pollution, free radicals, and sun damage to the early and advanced signs of our body aging, our skin displays the results of a life well lived. In 2020, Melaleuca introduced a completely new line of high-performance skincare aimed at targeting the primary skin concerns of Melaleuca's global member base. This must-have line has breathed new life into the skincare regimens of thousands worldwide. Focusing on continual innovation and skincare superiority, we're proud to present an even further advancement in skincare expertise. A scientifically tested and clinically researched line that uses the absolute finest ingredients to achieve fast, beautiful, natural results. Introducing Advanced Microbiome Support, a 3-product regimen built to not only beat department store brands, but to rival products made available in dermatologists' offices. Specially designed to address the early and late stages of skin aging, this line has been formulated with a unique blend of botanical ingredients combined with the hard-hitting power of niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and bakuchiol, a highly effective plant-derived alternative to retinol with reduced side effects. Fragrance-free, paraben-free, and gluten-free, this vegan collection of advanced skincare works synergistically to dramatically improve your skin, reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, providing enhanced moisturization, and quickly improving skin's firmness and overall elasticity. The path to younger-looking skin begins with Hyaluronic Moisture Serum. This lightweight serum is specially formulated with hyaluronic acid, bakuchiol, niacinamide, jojoba, and oat kernel oil, plus a unique blend of ceramides and lipids to quickly improve the appearance of firmness, elasticity, and skin texture. Plus, it's fast absorbing to hydrate and reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles almost immediately. During your morning routine, follow the Hyaluronic Moisture Serum with our Epidermal Perfector Cream. This light yet highly moisturizing cream was scientifically designed with a custom blend of botanical lipids, polysaccharides, and peptides to quickly build up the skin's moisture barrier and dramatically address signs of aging. Prebiotic and probiotic ingredients help guard against pollution and free radicals, while skin blurring technology softens the appearance of imperfections. One application in the morning provides a whole day of hydration. During your nightly routine, follow up your Hyaluronic Moisture Serum with Overnight Peptide Boost. When the body is at rest, our skin's rejuvenating processes are most active. Designed to work best during these restorative hours, Overnight Peptide Boost works on the skin's microbiome with a unique prebiotic action to restore healthy, smoother-looking skin. Plus, it contains a gradual moisture delivery system to continuously release an active hydrating compound while you sleep. Specially formulated with bakuchiol, polysaccharides, and non-comedogenic natural oils to provide exceptional hydration, revealing younger-looking skin. Advanced microbiome support, the perfect combination of science and nature, and combined with a consistent cleansing and toning routine, works quickly and effectively to give you the best skin of your life. Advanced microbiome support, only from Sabella.
Advanced Microbiome Support is a high-performance skincare line that promotes beautiful, healthy, younger-looking skin. Rivaling brands only found in luxury department stores and the most prestigious medical-based skincare retailers. Packed with specially designed performance-driving ingredients, we've created this collection to achieve the most advanced results. Hyaluronic acid, bakuchiol, a natural retinoid, niacinamide, tetrapeptide 4, natural oils, lipids, and pre- and probiotics. Each of these important ingredients have been thoroughly studied and tested and are combined to deliver both short and long-term results. And in true Melaleuca fashion and adhering to the Sabella difference, we've spent the last few months making sure we can offer these products to you at reasonable Melaleuca prices, never sacrificing quality. I'm so excited for each of you to try Advanced Microbiome Support. Once you try this remarkable collection, you will feel and see the amazing transformation on your skin. Please join us at our workshop this afternoon to learn more. See you there.
Thank you, Patrick. Now, I know you're wondering, when can you and your customers order? Well, later today, you can order all 3 of the new Advanced Microbiome Support products for 30% off. Now, Executive Directors 4, Mo and John Smith, are from Columbia, South Carolina. They enrolled 3 years ago after investing years with an MLM company. Monita is a nuclear pharmacist, and John is a middle school assistant administrator and an assistant football coach. They're also proud parents of 4 children. Now, during the pandemic, they stayed consistent by enrolling an average of 5 new members every month, and did it ever pay off? Since last year, they've advanced 2 statuses to Executive Director 4. So let's go to Columbia, South Carolina right now and speak live to Monita and John Smith. Monita and John, welcome to Convention Day 2. How are you?
Great. How are you, Darren?
Doing well. How you doing, Darren?
Doing really well. Thanks for being here. We established that you have 4 children. Tell us a bit about them. What are their ages?
We have a 22-year-old. That's Jalen. Jordan is 17. He'll be attending South Carolina State University next year. Joshua is a freshman. And we have our beautiful, darling angel, Morgan.
Who is 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, she is 4.
All right. And John, while I have you, you also are a football coach. I mentioned that. What got you into coaching in the first place?
Well, when I was in corporate America, I was working 65 to 70 hours a week, and never really got to spend a lot of time with the kids. I would always, on my off time, would spend time playing catch with them, but I wanted to get into coaching so I could ensure that I would spend more time with them, but also other kids in the community that needed a father figure. So I was able to leave my job and go into education, and was able to fulfill that the dream of coaching.
So you had an opportunity then to coach Jordan or Jalen, or how many of your children?
I've coached all my children except Morgan. I anticipate coaching her as well, but Mom thinks she's going to be a cheerleader. So we'll see in the next couple of years how that plays out.
All right, Monita, what do you think of that? Which way is it going to be?
I think she's going to be a cheerleader. She's too girly for that. Yeah, I played sports, but she's too girly.
Well, listen, Monita, to you, tell me about what was life like when you first enrolled 3 years ago. What was going on with you and your family?
Well, 3 years ago, when I was introduced to Melaleuca from my friend, Miss Kimberly Satterwhite, I was actually in another MLM. And, you know, that whole industry, they teach you to kind of retire, rewire yourself, leave your jobs, and I drank the Kool-Aid. I actually left my pharmacy career year 2 into that business, and with that, it was like a domino effect of major red flags that were going off with us, from, you know, living that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, you know, borrowing from family to make ends meet. And when I was introduced to this 3 years ago, my business was slowly climbing back out of a deficit. And what I did know about that industry was that there was trends. There was trends where your checks could be up in the months of, I'm not even going to say January, but February, March, April, you know, you were going to have some great checks. And then towards, you know, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, all of your checks were on a decline, and you really didn't have any stable income. And when we were introduced to this, I do believe it was June. So next year is our 3-month anniversary with Melaleuca. So we knew that the checks were about to start going down. And at that point, our oldest was getting ready to go to college. We didn't know how we were going to be able to pay his college tuition. And it was a big, big burden. It was so much stress at that point. So when we were introduced to Melaleuca, of course, we were open to, you know, the opportunity, getting in, seeing all of the amazing products. But what we were able to do in 10 days, we joined June the 20th of 2018. And in 10 days, our check was $8,011. And Jalen's tuition for that first semester, we had to come out of pocket for $8,000. So for that, yeah.
It's good. So, Monita, you took advantage of the Pacesetter program, and you've been enrolling consistently every single month, focusing in on the products. Let's talk a bit about that residual income. You're at Melaleuca, very, very different in so many ways from that industry, the MLM industry. What has residual income meant to you? And I'm going to go to John here first. What has residual income meant to you?
Well, it's provided stability and security for our family. We've been allowed to tell our children yes, opposed to telling them no. Been allowed to been able to afford family vacations and just live life the way that we want to. So certainly been a blessing with the residual income.
It's great. Monita, what is your residual income right now every month, and how does that make a difference?
It's at about $6,800. It's made a huge, huge difference in our household. Being the fact that we were definitely able to pay off over $65,000 in debt over the last 3 years. And, you know, last year I was able to pay off $17,000 of my student loan. So I have no more. Praise God for that. But it's just the comfort, the security, the relief. There's no stress. That weight, that burden has been lifted. I always joke that, you know, most people get divorced because of, you know, financial reasons. And we don't have that. That was something that we definitely didn't want to be our story. You know, finances, us constantly arguing over what's, you know, going to be taken care of or what's not taken care of, the lack. And, you know, all of our bills are paid off of our residual and then some. You know, we have a surplus of money that's left over after everything's taken care of in our home.
Wow. What a feeling that must be. Your residual income covers all your expenses and then some.
Yeah.
Well done. That is exactly the way to do it. You consistently enroll 5 new members every single month, like clockwork. Why are you so consistent?
Well, we have an amazing team takeover. But with that, you know, we always like to lead from the front. So in leading a team, you can never ask them to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. And I do know with consistently getting into the circle of influence or the expanded circle of influence, that's going to ultimately grow my business. And in that, I'm helping change someone else's lives because of my decision to simply share it with them.
You know, John, I'm going to go back to you here for the last question. I just want to explore a little bit further about you and being a football coach. Why is it that you coach?
Well, I don't coach to win ball games. My primary focus yes, I enjoy winning, but my primary focus for getting into coaching was to keep young men focused on, changing their lives and make sure that they're staying focused on their academics and doing what's right in the community and being better young men as they get older into manhood. Hopefully they look back on all the teachings that I was provided with from my previous coaches that I'm giving them and apply that in their daily living as well.
Okay, and Monita, final word, final question. How is life different now for you and your family as you look forward? In what ways?
We have choices now, Darren. We're, able to live spontaneous. If we want to take a weekend or a week, vacation with the family, we're able to do things like that. Whereas before, we definitely would not have been able to do that. I definitely look at the pandemic last year, and I know had we been in that other industry, there would have been major, major stress just from, maybe even putting groceries in the house, little things like that. So life is definitely different for us right now. We're completely grateful for Melaleuca and the opportunity that you guys provide so many families to literally change their lives.
Well, it has been great having you here on day 2 of convention. Congratulations, not only your business success, but also how you're using the residual income and your bonuses to experience financial freedom. What a great example for all of us. So Mo and John, again, congratulations. Have a great rest of convention.
Thanks, Darren.
Thank you, Darren.
As a reminder, at Awards Gala tonight, we're announcing Melaleuca's 2021 Marketing Executive of the Year and the final top President's Club earners. So who will they be? Well, tune in this evening to find out. But let's meet the next 4 earners of President's Club 2021 trip to St. Lucia right now. And by earning President's Club, these are simply the best of the best in the past 12 months at new member growth and leader development. Here we go.
All right, ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
For the 2nd consecutive year, from Georgetown, Texas, congratulations, National Directors Kristen and Christian Heineke. Kristen and Christian advanced to National Director just a couple of months ago. And they also enroll 4, earning Circle of Influence every single month. Congratulations and welcome to your 2nd consecutive President's Club.
Now, our next business, earning President's Club for the very first time. From Tarpon Springs, Florida, Executive Directors 9, Chelsea Heineman and Sanj Banjaraja. Now, Chelsea and Sanj, they have advanced 5 statuses since last convention and have doubled their residual income to over $10,000 a month. And congratulations, you two, on your very first President's Club.
All right, our next business enrolled 25 years ago and are definitely not first-time earners. In fact, this will be the 14th President's Club for our 2019 Marketing Executives of the Year and Melaleuca's first presidential director in North America from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Jeff and Maureen Miller. Jeff and Maureen are building such a tremendous legacy. In fact, let's take a moment and hear a little bit about what Melaleuca has meant to them.
It's exciting to be part of Melaleuca and be part of a great company, and what they're offered at this convention, I can see the next 10, 20 years being better than ever. So I look back and I say to myself, something came along in my life that allowed me to see it to feel it and to be part of Melaleuca and to have an experience now that's going to probably ride with me the rest of my life.
So please welcome from Coral Springs, Florida, Corporate Directors 2, Jeff and Maureen Miller.
The 2019 Marketing Executives of the Year. Congratulations, Corporate Directors 9, Jeff and Maureen Miller.
Our lives are in an amazing place today.
You rock, Jeff!
When I look at all the folks and all the lives we've changed, it's pretty amazing. It makes you cry. And to put our lives in an amazing place, thank you, Melaleuca.
Congratulations, Jeff and Maureen. Now, you don't have to be a presidential director to truly experience life-changing residual income. Let's take a look.
Hello, my name is Bob Bridges, and I'm from Kamloops, British Columbia, via the United States as well. I discovered Melaleuca in 1998 and fell in love with the products and have been shopping with Melaleuca for the last 23 years. I just talk to people about it, encourage them to try products that we have. You know, all in all, Melaleuca has been very good to me. And on average, my checks are actually around $100 to $130 a month. It tells me that I have actually had checks worth over $35,000. So that's 23 years. That's pretty cool.
My name is Lori Wheelis. I live in Chicago and have for years. And I've been a Melaleuca customer since 1996. So I've told a few people about Melaleuca. I'm a 100% believer in the product, and I always will be. And in the 17 years that I've been a customer, I've made over $34,000, which is mind-boggling. That's a lot of money, because that averages out to $120 a month for loving the product. So I will always be a customer. I love that Melaleuca's products are safe for the environment, safe for the body. I can't say enough good about it.
As you know, we recently launched the new and improved Getting Started area in the Business Center. And there you'll find the new Foundations video and the new video with Mr. Kevin Sommer on the best practices for using social media. Now, we've been hearing from successful leaders that these videos are required viewing before or even during a strategy session. They're that good. Now, over the past year, we've all become experts in using digital and virtual ways to connect. We are social beings, and Melaleuca is a company and a family built on friendships and on sharing. And social media is not only a part of our lives, it is a powerful tool for connecting and building relationships when used right. Now let's talk to two of Melaleuca's top leaders who have different styles, but both are using social media right as they build their Melaleuca businesses. Corporate Director 3, Ashley Olive, is a former junior high math teacher and the mother of 4 beautiful children and 1 on the way. She and her husband Brandon are from League City, Texas. And when you don't find her on a Zoom, you find her on a baseball field cheering on her kids. National Director 9, Brooke Paulin, is a former gym owner. Brooke and her husband Jason enrolled 14 years ago. Brooke is a 2-time Marketing Executive of the Year. Brooke and Jason and their 5 children have been exploring the U.S. in an RV for the past 10 months. Yes, for the past 10 months. And now they're putting down roots in the great state of Idaho. What a smart choice. So Ashley and Brooke, welcome to convention. It is really great having you both here. There you are.
Hi, Darren. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, everybody. So listen, welcome to day 2 of convention. You both use social media really well, and you also use social media very differently. Ashley, you have an MLM background. Brooke, you do not. And so this panel is really meant to look at how you use social media and do it the right way. Quick point before we begin. The video that I referenced, Kevin's How to Use Social Media video on Getting Started area, talks about the Melaleuca guidelines on social media. Have you had a chance to watch that, and how do you use it? What do you think of it? Ashley, I'm going to go to you first.
Make it super beneficial. I love how clear cut it is. I love that it explains why the policies are so important and what you need to do to really use social media as a successful tool when you're building your Melaleuca business. Definitely something everyone should watch if they plan on using social media in any way building this business.
Yeah, we've been hearing some great feedback on it, whether you've been here for years or you're brand new to Melaleuca. That is required viewing. Brooke, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Ashley. It's something that really paints the picture of who we are and how we're different, no matter what background you come from. And I think my favorite part of the video is, are you damaging our brand? Are you adding to our brand and to Melaleuca's reputation? And I love the examples that Kevin gives of what to do and what not to do. And it's just a great way for you to introduce that to your new prospective business partner right away so that they stay within the guidelines and really help them understand that we are different.
Okay, Brooke, that gives me the perfect launching pad. You mentioned your brand. We all have one, like it or not. We all have a brand, don't we? And everything we do, everything we say, everything we post either builds that brand or takes away from it. Ashley, I'm going to go to you now. What are some of the must-do principles that you follow as you consider what is your brand on social media?
I want to make it clear that everybody's brand and platform is going to be individual to you. So I may say something that you're like, that would not be mine. And that's totally okay. So for me, my number one thing is I always want to be relatable. I think it's important in this day and age, especially with the highlight reel, that I share relatable content that someone is going to look at and it's not going to make them feel bad. They're going to think, wow, that's something that I would do. That makes sense. That's like me. I want to be authentic. I don't want it to just be a highlight reel on my social media. And that may mean that there's a mess in my living room. That may mean that I don't make sure everything's picked up and perfect or filtered or things along those lines. So I'm going to make sure that I'm sharing very genuinely, very authentically. And I want to make sure if I'm talking, someone's going to look at it and know that's definitely something Ashley Olive would write. So here's an example of me walking out. My 4 kids were in our living room, and obviously my house was not picked up. There's stuff all over my island. There were boxes that I'd unboxed that day still sitting on the floor, and I actually got a comment on it that said, it's so refreshing to see that your house is not always pristine. And again, that's something that I want people to know, that it isn't perfect around here all the time. I love to share quotes. It's something that has always inspired me. So it's something that they'll see pretty often. If they're watching my page, if they're seeing my post, a quote is going to be something that's pretty common. I want to make sure anytime that I am sharing struggles, don't hear what I'm not saying. I am not saying to air your dirty laundry. But if you're struggling with something, don't feel like you can't share that. I do have farmer time at an MLM where I wasn't able to be relatable in that way, and I couldn't share when I was struggling. The beginning of this pregnancy, I was having a really hard time, and I was able to share about that this time and talk about the diagnosis and what I was struggling with. So in this post, I talked about how often I was getting sick, and that by no means was I upset with anyone if I wasn't engaging like I normally did, or I wasn't responding. I just was really struggling with life, to be completely honest. And being able to share that was so important for me because I get to be real, I get to be genuine, authentic. The other thing that everyone knows they're going to see on my page is Harper and Small Shop Clothing. They're going to see my boys at baseball. They're going to see me at these baseball games. So it is something that is very much part of my brand, part of my platform, that I obviously love to take these photos of Harper and handmade clothing and being able to share the journey that we take with baseball with having 3 boys that are active in it. I'm talking about Melaleuca in a post. I clearly don't use the word Melaleuca because we're always compliant, but there's no gray area. You want to make sure you're within policies. So make sure you watch that video with Kevin talking about how we share on social media in a compliant way.
So Ashley, a couple of follow-ups to you. First off, you're using Facebook. You use primarily Facebook, is that correct? And
that is correct. Facebook is the main platform I use. You certainly want to find whichever is best for you. You use too many, it's going to become far too difficult.
I think that is a really, really good lesson there, because if you try to focus on too many or have too many things open, you spend all your time on that, right? And you just really need to find what works for you. Facebook and Instagram are 2 of the biggest platforms out there for social media. You use Facebook. Another quick follow-up to you, Ashley, is you don't spam. I mean, that when we talk about staying away from MLM type behavior, you're a big believer in not spamming. Yes, why don't you tell us a little bit more?
Absolutely. I think it's important that you realize 2021 and people are over being sold to. They are the copy and paste of posts that are not genuine, that are not authentic, that someone can immediately tell you didn't write. Half the time people don't even change the skin color on the emojis. You certainly don't want that to be you. I want you to be sharing in a genuine way, writing your own posts, talking about what you're loving, and never choosing to go that spam route. It may get more comments when you see an MLM post, but rarely do any of those comments turn into customers that actually stay. That is the difference at Melaleuca. Quality over quantity, because the customers stay. This is an example. I was able to share an R3 post. I started sharing about R3 a lot last fall when I was using it personally. My initial post didn't get a ton of interaction by any means, but I shared my journey with it. I was getting active, I was using the access bars, and sharing how much I was loving it. This is a more recent post that I shared in April. So think how long that has been. I've been sharing it since last fall. This is in April, and this is someone that's on our team. Shannon has had incredible R3 results. I clearly don't need a call to action. I don't need to explain what R3 is. I don't need all these bullets. I don't want it to look salesy. That post was really successful for getting a lot of potentials that want to look into R3. But what we found is some people copy and pasted it, and then they did not get the same reaction. But the reason why is because they didn't write the post. The reason why is because I had been sharing about my own time with R3 for the last 6 months and talking about it often and in my stories how I love it. You want to be authentic to yourself. And if you're not, you will not get the same results on social media.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Brooke, take it from there. What are the principles that you follow?
You know, I have a code of ethics, if you will, that I kind of live by, and I'm very strategic before I ever make a post. I love what Ashley said about not airing your dirty laundry, and it doesn't mean that you can't be authentic and real, but there's a couple of things that go through my head before I were to ever post. One is to be a light, not a judge. I want people to want to come back, and or if they're having a bad day, they see a post or a quote or something that I shared on Facebook or LinkedIn, which is what I use as well, and they're inspired. My team knows this about me. I love quotes. I get inspired by them. But these are some examples right here. The one in the middle of our seniors and executive directors getting together for a luncheon. But a lot of it is what I don't say, right? So I'm not saying, you know, how much money we make or Melaleuca or anything that would lead them to, you know, think I'm even building a business. I want to share my life. And the second thing is to leave people in a better place than you found them. And my enrollers, Lance and Michelle Smith, taught me that. And every time I post, I think that through my head. And I represent Melaleuca and I represent Frank and all of you that are listening today. And my post and your post matters. I want this company to be around forever. And I don't believe in burning the fields. And so what you do does affect other people, not only on your team and in your family, but in Melaleuca in general. And last but not least is keep it classy. I want, again, to be that light where somebody comes to my page and is inspired. You know, we are using attraction marketing and our brand is important. And here's some examples. The one on the far right of my beautiful sister, we're both on the Say Bella beauty board, and I didn't say photo shoot with my sister, Say Bella, and I don't post products ever. You know, it's a lot, my philosophy is a lot about what I don't say. I was able to use that picture of us to talk about how much I have loved and working with her and am inspired by her. And I had a lot of comments of, what do you and your sister do? I want to post things and not say a lot so that people can reach out to me. I share our life. I shared our move, and I had so many people on our RV trip reach out and invite us to lunch and dinner. So Facebook is a beautiful thing. My dear friend, National Director 3, Beth Champ, taught me LinkedIn. And to you and Ashley's point, find what works for you. I love LinkedIn because I can share articles. My brand is about family. It's about health. It's about mental health. I'm very passionate about mental health. I love my family. I love Jesus, but I'm not going to, sometimes I'll put a Bible quote and not even put the author of that quote. And maybe it is to inspire somebody that day, or maybe somebody that's struggling and doesn't know Jesus, that can help. And these are all things that I think about when I post. And LinkedIn has been a lot of fun. So thank you, Beth, for helping me with that. And I was able to post an article recently about the link between sugar and mental health, which is something that I have struggled with for years. And to Ashley's point, it was relatable. I had so many people view it and then reach out private message. LinkedIn's a little bit different. It's not the likes, it's how many views that you receive, and to really find what works and what's fun for you. What is your brand? What are the 3 or 4 things that you stand for, that you're passionate about? What platform? We have a senior director on our team, Anne Marie Sampson, who loves Instagram. She's a trainer. She is doing an amazing job on Instagram. Facebook isn't her thing. Find what your thing is, and it should be fun. I went for a hike really early this morning in beautiful Coeur d'Alene with my husband and took a picture of the beach and a quote, and my run helps me mentally when I'm dealing with the crazy, which I'm crazy all the time. And it doesn't even feel like work to me. It's something that's natural because it's my passion and it's my brand.
All right. Thank you, Brooke. Now let's go one step deeper. This business, talk about consistencies by adding names to your contact list, approaching others, sharing the overview. It's about, without a contact list, you don't have a business. So we're not saying social media replaces anything, quite the opposite. Social media is a complement to our core business building activities. So Ashley, Facebook groups, I've heard about them, not quite sure what they are. How do you use them in this whole process for adding names to your contact list and then developing relationships? Let's go there.
Like Darren said, it is just a tool. So for me, using Facebook groups, you want to find something that is similar to you. For me, that is going to be handmade clothing, being a twin mom. There's a group for having large families. So those are some examples of words or verbiage that you would type at the top of Facebook to find some groups that are relatable to you. It could be about cooking. It could be a health journey. It could be you're passionate about being an oil wife, whatever is relatable to you. You go find a couple groups. And just as if you are walking into a ballroom and you are meeting people at an event, you will find the group that is relatable to you, the people that are your people. Even with it being social media, it will become present really quickly, like, oh, these are my kind of people. So you don't want to do too many. Find 2 or 3 that you're like, okay, I feel this, like I jive with these people. Go in and do not ever mention Melaleuca. For real. Because if you go in and you look like an MLMer and you are spam adding people or you are posting about Melaleuca, you are immediately off of someone's radar. The goal is you're going in these groups and you are creating a presence. You are asking questions genuinely because it's something that is an interest for you. You are engaging with people. You are commenting back and forth. So what this looks like for me is I'm in these small shop groups for people that create handmade clothing for children, and that's where I get my daughter's clothes. I'm engaging with them. As I'm commenting back and forth and having that presence, I will add someone as a friend. So part of my brand is they know, here's an example of a post that is a handmade dress. My daughter fell in a pond that looked like grass and totally trashed the dress. Again, but this is something that all these moms I added from these handmade clothing shop groups, like they're feeling me and how much I want to cry in that moment. So it relates. So if you're in a cooking one, you want it to be about cooking. So that would be something on your page. I was able to go in the comments and just share how I got the dress clean. I didn't say that I used Melapower or anything like that. I just mentioned it came out pristine. It looks beautiful. Something else that they know they're going to see on my page is being a baseball mom. They're going to know that I'm cleaning pants. So there's going to be examples of me scrubbing baseball pants constantly. That is relatable because I'm in a group about being a baseball mom. And then as I engage with these people, we're commenting back and forth. I add that person as a friend. Immediately they're like, oh, that's Ashley Olive from the baseball mom group. I was just going back and forth with her. And then there's going to end up being a post showing how I clean their pants. That is my daughter's shoes. That is very common in the world of handmade, showing how I use these whites and it saved them because I didn't think they were still going to be white. You want whatever your brand or platform that you're creating to mirror what type of similar interest group you're getting. What are you into? What are you passionate about? Go find those type of groups. And if it's about dogs, then share your dogs often. If it's about a journey into getting healthier, share about that often. Whatever groups you find, I want you to be really authentic in sharing about that on your page, and you will see how you can easily add these names to your contact list as they're accepting your friend request. Now, by no means should you message those people as soon as they accept your friend request. That is what MLMs do. Melaleuca's focus is relationship, you engaging with these people, you really creating a rapport by messaging them about nothing related to Melaleuca, asking questions, engaging by commenting, and really creating that relationship so that the approach is natural, just as if you were in a room with them. It would be the same type of conversation. So don't get yourself lumped into that phase of MLM world that would immediately send a message that would not be genuine and would fake a relationship with that person.
Thanks, Ashley. And now I'm connecting the dots here, I think. So once you have the new friend within a group, that friend then is seeing what's on the content you have on your wall. So they're checking you out. And has that been your experience, Ashley?
Absolutely. And because it is something that is relatable from that group, the engagement comes quickly. It's not like it takes lots of time for these people to engage with you because you clearly are into the same things. So you will find that it is easy to engage because it's stuff that you already truly enjoy. I love the friends that I've made in these mom groups from handmade clothing. And they're some of the people I talk to most often in my life. So you're going to find that they are really your people, and it makes the approach very simple.
Thank you, Ashley. Brooke, we're going to go now to Facebook Stories. All right. So let's talk about that, and feel free to weave in anything you have to add on groups. I know you're part of that RV group. 10 months. Oh my gosh. So what are Facebook Stories, Brooke? And how do you use them to, again, contact lists, approaching others, building relationships, building your brand?
You know, Darren, I've done both. I mean, we've been in an RV for the last 10 months, so I have used strictly social media to build my business. And just like groups or stories or whatever avenue you use, it is about the relationship and it's being patient. So in the RV group that I'm a part of, I kind of searched through different groups to figure out which one I liked and related to the most. And then I've been able to engage in those groups and just be patient. And when I finally was able to post that we were going full time, I had 167 comments. Now, again, to Ashley's point, I didn't message those people, but now I have 167 new names to add to my contact list that I can engage in relationships with. Well, it's the same thing with my story. I love my stories. It's quick for me. We're always on the go. We're always out doing something. And so instead of me always taking time to write a post, I'll use my stories. And I'll post 3 or 4 stories that are relatable to my brand. And then the views, I can click on the views, and there's so many names that pop up that I'm like, oh, that was my friend from college, or this is somebody from the RV group. So here's a series of stories I did recently when we moved to our new town, and my kids weren't perfect, and I don't even know if they brushed their hair or their teeth, by the way, before this picture. Sorry, Mom. But this is just our life. I love throwing in a quote, and I was driving back from the gym one day and thought of you, Raphael. Amazing training yesterday, but if not now, when? And that was written on the side of a gym, and I'm like, I have to take that picture. You know, what if that inspires somebody? Or the quote I got so many views on was, surround yourself with people who talk about visions and ideas, not other people. You know, again, just that might go, oh, Brooke might be struggling with some of that today. Maybe, maybe not. You don't really know. But if I can, again, use those stories to help in some way. And I love seeing the views and engaging, again, not reaching out and saying anything about Melaleuca, but if I saw that they viewed my story, I might reach out and say, and I did this recently with a college friend, oh, it's been years. It's so great to connect with you on Facebook. You know, your brand is so important in everything you do. And our recent Pacesetter director for Jody Grillo came to us as a referral because her friend, we share a mutual friend, and because of my brand, she connected us and she said, I just think Jody would really relate to you. You're plant-based, you like to exercise, and Jody's become one of my very best friends. She is building an incredible business. We share a a lot of these types of stories together. Now she's doing that, and I've never met her in person, which is very different for me. My husband bought me this little rock lettuce romaine calm because he knows I'm a crazy plant eating person, and these are just pictures of my life and what I do. And I love being able to answer the questions about health because, again, it is my passion. So there's so many ways to use this without saying everything, or without, pitching something, or being, kind of weird. We talk about this on our team and all, like, don't be weird. Just be you, be normal, be authentic. My last rule with stories and comments that I want to share, and dear friend of mine, Michelle Case, taught me this: give yourself like 13 hours just to kind of like before you respond. Or if it's a questionable post, I'll run it by Jason. I'll be like, honey, what do you think about this? Should I post this? And he'll be like, you would tell me not to. So there's times that I'm emotional. We're all emotional. It's an emotional business. And there's times you want to respond. And oh my goodness, especially in 2020, right? I'll see something. I'm like, I just want to put blinders on, but I just have to take the 13 hours. Maybe I don't even need to respond to that. And I think if we kind of use that as a rule of thumb, it would help all of us. We are a social business. Social media is not going away. We need to learn how to build it and work it and do it well. And you represent Melaleuca in everything you do. And I really try to keep that in the forefront of all of these avenues.
Wonderful, you two. Last question, 30-second answer for each. Brooke, I'm going to go to you first as well. What final advice for someone who may be looking at this saying, holy smokes, I have, I got my family, I got 25 people in Facebook. I don't know how to use this, and they may be a little bit overwhelmed and thinking about what my next steps ought to be. What advice would you have for them?
I have two pieces of advice. Be consistent and be patient. Just like building a relationship in your hometown or your children's school or in your community, which we do as well. Social media is just a piece for us. I'm patient. I'm not going to just think that relationship is going to happen on the first encounter. Not that I have to become best friends with them, or not that I have to wait too long, because sometimes I've been known to wait too long and sometimes I've approached a little bit too quick. But you have to be patient and build a genuine relationship. Don't look at everybody as a prospect. Look at the articles that you post, and LinkedIn's been a great example for me because it's a new platform for me. I'm very patient. I post 3 or 4 times a week. I'm consistent with it. I really look at the article and make sure it's something that aligns with my values and core beliefs, but I have to be very patient with it. And I've been using LinkedIn for 2 months, and I have my first contact, which did not result into an appointment yet, but we spent about an hour and a half on the phone the other day. It's not overnight success. It takes time and effort, but I was able to connect with a beautiful woman that I forgot about and that I was friends with in Colorado, and she was on LinkedIn. She wasn't on Facebook, and we met about nutrition and health, and she was sharing her story about her hormones and that sort of thing with me, and now I have a need. I have a need to be able to approach her, but I had to be patient. 2 months of using that to result into a new contact. So be patient and be consistent.
All right. Thank you, Brooke. So, Ashley, you get the final word here. What's your final advice for everyone on how best to use social media?
I think a missing link oftentimes is engagement. I am going to echo everything that Brooke said. You have to be patient, have to be consistent. This is not going to be overnight, 2-3 weeks, and all of a sudden you're a senior director. But you have to be engaging with people, meaning do not just scroll and never like, comment, engage. Don't think that you're going to be able to put a post up and then people are going to come to you. That is not going to happen. You have to put focus on daily, intentional engagement. Make a list by looking at your stories to see who's viewing them, by your new people that have added you from groups, and go engage with those people very intentionally, making sure you're commenting more than 2-word comments, maybe sending them a message that has nothing to do with Melaleuca. It could be about what you guys have interests that's in common, but do not miss that engagement piece. It is oftentimes the one that is keeping people from finding success with social media.
All right, Ashley and Brooke, you gave us so many insights. Thank you so much for giving us your time today. Enjoy the rest of convention, all right? Thanks very much for being here, you guys.
Thanks, Darren.
All right, now everyone, next steps you can take to go even deeper into this topic of how to incorporate social media the right way into your business. First is watch the best practices for using social media video on the new Getting Started area, the Business Center. And then also go to Live's Facebook group. There you'll find Ashley Olive. We just heard from her, talk a lot about some of these topics. A fantastic social media training from our recent North America Zoom. Thousands of you attended. Make sure you check that out. It's one of our most popular trainings. Now, do you know Alicia Purdy? A year ago, Alicia Purdy was Director 5 with a residual income of $500 a month. She's been consistently enrolling 8 new members every month. And today, she's a Senior Director 2 with residual income of $2,400 a month. Here's Alicia.
My name is Alicia Purdy, and I am a new Senior Director 2. And today we're going to open my commission check, and we're going to do it together. Normally I do it by myself, but I want to do it with them today because it's not just about me. The reason I do all of this is for them. We're missing 2 for this video, but they are an important part of my why and why I work so hard every day for our family and for our future.
Wait, 5 million?
Not quite 5 million. That's a big goal.
Let's read it again. 5,667 and 75 cents.
$5,667.75. A lot more than what I was calculating. I'm a homeschool mom. I probably should rethink my math skills and what I'm teaching them because this is a lot more than what I thought. This is, I don't even know if I can put the words into how much this has done for me. And it has a profound impact on our lives and has literally changed our future where we've at one point felt very stuck and in a hole like we couldn't dig out. And this has given us so much hope and has literally saved us. And my biggest goal now that we've helped our family is that we can help pave the way for more families to have this exact hope.
Financial wellness has never mattered more than it does right now. You know, according to MarketWatch, the majority of North American families have less than $1,000 in savings and aren't able to handle an unplanned expense of only $400. In times of uncertainty, Melaleuca's compensation plan delivers emotional wellness by giving you and your family the opportunity to earn reliable supplemental income. Now, remember my previous example of adding about $300 a month in product introduction commission by enrolling 4 a month? Well, let's take a look at what else that does. Let's say you're a director with 10 others in your organization. In just 90 days of enrolling 4, you could increase your number of personals to 20 and join the 20/20 club where you begin to earn 20% residual income on all your personals. You'd likely also develop a director, and you'd probably advance to director 2 or even 3 and earn advancement and mentoring bonuses. You see, consistently enrolling 4 per month is much more than about simply earning a promotion. It's building life-changing residual income. In 90 days of consistently enrolling at least 4, earning Circle of Influence, you've added about $300 per month in product introduction commission, and in this case, tripled your residual income, and earned several other bonuses. That's the power of 90 days. So you may be wondering, what about those who enroll 8 per month? Well, here's an example. Let's take a look at National Director 7, Kim and Ed Satterwhite. Kim's an amazing example of consistency, averaging 8 enrollments a month, and in the past year has grown her residual income from $12,000 to $18,923 per month. Here's Kim and Ed.
My name is Kimberly Satterwhite. This is Edward Satterwhite from Decula, Georgia.
Well, we have a blended family of 5 girls, and they are aging all the way from 24 down to 14. And you have 5 girls and different needs, and this one needs this and that one needs that, and then we have bills and everything coming at us. It was definitely many nights that I would lay in bed and just wonder, when is it going to be that time to where we no longer have to deal with this kind of stress. I mean, I remember him working 70 hours plus, being gone over the road, and it still just wasn't enough. I was working home, doing the best I could, and he was doing the best he could, working 70 hours a week, like I said, but it still just wasn't enough.
The one thing that has surprised me the most about Melaleuca is probably how great the products are. They are really the best products we probably have ever had or used in our house when it comes to cleaning, vitamins, everything. I mean, it's a one-stop shop for us. Well, my favorite Melaleuca product is the Peak Performance, and I use it a lot every day. Since I've started using it on the regular, I think my blood pressure used to be like 141 over 110. Yes, it was bad. And now it's down to, the last one I had probably 2 weeks ago when I went to the doctor was 126 over 83.
I tell people Melaleuca has customer services like Chick-fil-A on steroids. If you can imagine going through a Chick-fil-A drive-through and everything that you want, they're just so friendly, so bubbly, glad to see you. You don't have those experiences in other places. But when I came to Melaleuca and they were calling my customers and calling me to check on me and giving us tips and reminding us of things, it just absolutely blew me away. Not being on hold, getting somebody who understood us, it was absolutely incredible, for sure. I just feel like all we have to do is teach people that there is a better way, that you absolutely can convert your house and use safer, better products, outperforming all these other name brands.
Melaleuca has given me the freedom to just be there, to get up in the morning with the girls and actually put both of them on the bus, to get up, to watch them when they get on the bus, to anytime that they need me to be at school, anything that I need to run and do throughout the day or anything that needs to be done. It just has given us the freedom to just be there.
Yes, when I look at the residual, we can have checks, and of course, I've had some big ones and they've been amazing. But when I look at the fact that my residual income is climbing every single month, it gives me comfort for the simple fact that that's the baseline of my income. I know that if an emergency happens or if something happened where I had to step away or anything like that, then I'm going to have this base income there. And that's what matters most to me. It's not the number of the check. I'm checking every month, what is my residual income looking like, for sure. That's the security that we're going for. So every month we talk about the goal of getting that residual income up to where it's just a baseline to where we're good no matter what, even though we know we're never going anywhere. This is definitely home for us.
And our why is pretty much, my why is my health. Getting my health in order to be here for our daughters, to be here to make sure one day we see grandkids, to make sure that I'm able to walk around and actually, take care of myself on my own and enjoy life.
We just love Melaleuca.
We just love Melaleuca.
We're now honored to have with us National Director 5, Jen Sabas. Jen and her husband John enrolled in 2010 and have since earned President's Club an incredible 5 times. Jen's extremely passionate about health, wellness, and keeping toxins out of home and work environments. Jen enrolls customers every month and achieves Circle of Influence every month. As a result, Jen's recently crossed $2 million in lifetime earnings and has grown her residual to $20,328 per month. But if you ask Jen what matters most, is that she has helped her personals earn over $2.7 million. From Hancock, Michigan, here she is, National Director 5, Jen Sabas.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you for inviting me here today. I'm so excited to be here. So my time with everybody here today is very short, and I have like a bajillion thoughts going through my head. So I'm just going to jump right on in, and I'm going to start by kind of talking about something that really has never truly been discussed. I mean, not directly, maybe. So any grace that you would like to extend in advance, I will gladly take it. But we're going to start by talking about the pandemic. It's been crazy times, right? It's been crazy times. We would be crazy to think that it hasn't affected our businesses, right? Like in great ways and in challenging ways also. So let's start with the silver lining, if you will. So I think now more than ever, people are really truly leaning in to wellness products. They're leaning into shopping from home more than ever. So, and also people are very open and exploring and seeking out residual income more than ever before. You know, if 2020 has taught us one thing, it is that financial stability can change just like that, right? So I think back 10 years ago when I began my Melaleuca journey, my sister Molly, who's executive director for, she and I began working, and a year and a half into building our business, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at that time, we were able to shift, the bulk of our energy into helping and focusing on her and getting her well. But at that time, we were both enjoying about $1,000 per month residually from Melaleuca, and it just knocked our socks off. Like, we couldn't believe it. And now, unfortunately, just last week, we found out that Molly is fighting that fight again. She has been diagnosed again, and she is in the fight of all fights. And I know that I speak for her to all of you when I tell you the massive gratitude that she and her family have about the residual income that has been built here with Melaleuca for the 10 years that they've been sharing this store with others. It literally is everything right now for them. So I just wanted to share that strong message from her to all of you, because we've heard it said many times. It's not if life happens, it's when life happens. And residual income truly is something to be grateful for. So, okay, let's move on. Let's talk about some happy things. And let's be candid, guys. 2020 and 2021 have brought on other things as well too. Like, the whole planet has pretty much functioned virtually, right? On Zoom. I mean, we've all been in business meetings and overviews on Zoom. We've seen all of that. But guys, I've watched birthday parties on Zoom, and I can't make this up, and maybe you have too. I've seen funerals on Zoom. It's just this crazy world that we're in now in social media. It's gone from entertainment to now our primary way of connecting with other humans. It's just what has become. And through that, social media has gotten a little noisy. Would you agree? Like, sometimes even distractingly noisy, meaning I get up in the morning and I'll scroll my Facebook, and it looks sometimes pretty clogged up with noisy posts, things that say, join my team, or I have 3 spots left. Who wants to be a product sampler? We see buy this pretty little product, right? We see these often, or, we hit our inbox, and then we find messages from people. Sometimes they start with, hey girl, hey. No, I'm not saying all of them, but we know most of those are copied and pasted messages, right? Or I don't know what it is, but a lot lately I've been getting messages asking me if I would post somebody else's business link on my page, and in return they would enter me into a drawing to win something. I don't know why I've been getting that a lot lately. Or I will send out a friend request to somebody, and like 1.9 seconds later I've got a message this long in my inbox telling me, oh great, I would be on their team. And I'm thinking, yeah, you don't know anything about me, right? It's everywhere to some extent. And it's because through this pandemic, many people have taken up a little side hustle, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. They're being taught to do those things. But I want you to consider this quote from Maya Angelou for me. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's, people will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did, but they're never going to forget how you made them feel. So let me ask you a question, and be honest with yourself. When you see a clogged news feed like that, how does that make you feel? I mean, I'll be honest. I'll tell you, I have felt, a plethora of things. I felt angry at times. I felt annoyed sometimes, frustrated at times. I've even thought that this isn't fair, right? Because listen, we know Melaleuca is different. We know that. But with all of the noise that's going on, sometimes it's hard to trust that other people can, you know? And to add salt to the wound, the noise is becoming normalized almost. It's what people are used to seeing. Like, think about it. Have you ever gotten up in the morning and gone about your Melaleuca work thinking to yourself, I am up, my heart is on my sleeve, I am sharing this store with others, and it feels good. And then you stop and you go, but does anybody hear me? Why does it feel like nobody hears me? Or what am I doing wrong? We've all probably thought that, right? Maybe you've thought, what am I saying that I shouldn't be saying? Or maybe, what shouldn't I be saying that I am saying, right? We just get in our heads because we can feel that there's something going on. For me, in my opinion anyway, the solution to building successfully in this heavily virtual new normal, if you will, it's so simple. Truly, it's so simple that we complicate it. You ready? It is. It's trust. It's trust. Good old-fashioned trust. People say yes to people. It is true. We've all heard Ed Vistoso say, the business with the most directors wins, right? Which is totally true. But I would also add that the person that develops trust first will set the first appointment. I think back 10 years when I started my Melaleuca business, a trusted friend of mine, so it started with trust, okay? A trusted friend of mine introduced me to Executive Director 9, John Cosentino. I didn't know John at all, right? But I trusted my friend. Then John walked into the room, shook my hand, eye contact, body language, all of it. I could feel John's energy and his love for this amazing company. It was like tangible. You could touch it. So we sat down and he did the overview. And by the time he was done, I was like, can I get a hug? He had been a stranger 2 seconds ago, and now I wanted a hug. Why? The trust developed like instantly. But because I was in person with him, I was, that really played a big factor. Now, think about how much harder it can be nowadays in this virtual space amongst the noise to have to develop that trust in a space like that. So if trust is the goal, and I believe it is, if trust is the goal, what constitutes trust? Well, I think in the work that we do with Melaleuca, it's 5 things. Number 1 is your authenticity, and you've been hearing a lot about that already, right? Being authentic and being able to express your personality. The second one is making genuine connections, real genuine connections. Number 3, transparency. Frank Vandersloot says it all the time. The truth is good enough. Number 4 is patience. Probably the one I need to work on sometimes the longest. Is trusting the process. Just don't go to third base too quickly. Just relax and take the time for things to unfold as they need to. And then number 5 is using your voice, right? In the absence of being with somebody in person, the next best thing that we can give in order to develop trust is our voice. People can hear the inflection in our voice. They get to know our personalities through our voice. So use your voice. I truly believe that we have to dig in and do the work right here. It's really, really important. Otherwise, we may feel like we're up against obstacles. It may feel like we are up against objections a lot. Now, hear me when I say this, though. An objection does not scare me, and it shouldn't scare you either. There's all kinds of objections. To me, objections are merely invitations to diffuse somebody's concern. They're just asking to help make things a little bit clearer for them. That's all. So an objection is not a no, not in my book. But the ones that get tough, the objections that I have a hard time with, are the silent ones. Silent objections. Silent objections keep us from even setting the appointment. Silent objections, they're the stop before the start. Yeah, I'm kind of convinced that the term ghosting, we've all heard that was like birthed out of silent objections. Like, they happen when somebody is so sure that they're going to have an unpleasant experience with you that they check out, they back up, they stop, they ignore, they go silent, radio silent on you, right? And silent objections are very tricky because you don't know that you encountered one until after the person you're trying to connect with is already gone. They've left the building. They're like carbon monoxide, right? It's like they're silent, but they're deadly. So I want you to picture a scale for me, if you will. And this is really important. I think we have to know this. Nobody asked for it. It's not what we want. I'll say that it has a lot to do with this last year and the noise on social media and all kinds of factors. But the truth is, when we're using social media as a platform to make those connections, we kind of start with the scales tipped a little bit in the opposite direction that we want them. It's just our starting point, right? So people's walls are up and their trust is a little down. Just is, right? And we have no business talking to somebody about Melaleuca, bringing it up in any way, shape, or form until we've made the effort to tip the scales back in the right direction. Does that sound fair? So we've got to bring their trust up and their walls down. So that is the why. That is why we have silent objections. Now let's talk about the what. What are some of those silent objections? Well, I think if there was a little magic thought bubble above people's heads or their profile pictures, you may hear something like this. I don't want to be sold anything. I don't want to be tricked into one of those things, right? I don't want you to bait and switch me. And I don't want to feel used in your pursuit of building a business. I don't want to feel pressure, and I don't want to feel backed into a corner. People are a little jaded right now, right? They don't trust that we're not there to do the same thing. So they have an objection moving ahead, but you don't know it because they're not saying the words. So instead, you're over there thinking, I must be doing something wrong. I must not be good at Melaleuca. And that's not it at all. The answer truly is in anticipating those silent objections because they're going to be there. Not all the time, but they're going to be there. So anticipate the silent objections and stay ahead of them, right? So if that's the goal, then let's talk about the how. So we've talked about the why, we've talked about the what. Now let's wrap it up and let's talk about the how. How can we stay in front of those? How can we bring trust up? Well, there's so many things that we can talk about. And I know that they spoke on that in the panel as well. So many great nuggets. We could talk about how you represent yourself on your own Facebook platform, right? We could talk about how well you nurture the development of the relationships that you're making on Facebook and things like that. But what I wanted to talk about today is one. It's my favorite. It's the one that I also believe makes the most movement on the scale it all. It tips it the most because you actually get to tap into all 5 of the bullet points that develop trust. Authenticity, genuine connection, transparency, patience, and voice. You get to use all of them. So I call this the handshake. The handshake is the very, very first interaction that you have with somebody on, I keep referencing Facebook, but whatever social media platform you're using, right? And so we're not talking about reaching out to people that you know. This isn't about family and friends and coworkers and neighbors and acquaintances. This is about people you have little to no history with, the people you're networking with on Facebook, right? Maybe people that you're meeting in groups and things like that. So it's your very first interaction. And the purpose is not to talk about Melaleuca, right? It's not. It's to just say hello. That's why I call it the handshake. So there's going to be 4 things that you're going to do during a handshake. So the first is thank them for the connection. The second is to kind of tell them how or where you connected. A little refresher never hurts. Number 3, give them the cliff notes on you. And then number 4, open up the invitation for a dialogue for them to talk by asking about them. People love to talk about themselves, right? So if I was on a women entrepreneur group, which I'm in a few of those, so this happens often, and I connect with somebody and they accept my friend request. I might go to voice memo and just say, hey, Sarah, this is Jen. Thanks for accepting the friend request. I know that we don't know each other outside of Facebook, but I do a lot of very purposeful networking with the work that I do from home. It's been fun following you in the entrepreneur group. So Cliff Notes on me. I'm a hot mess mom. I live in Upper Michigan. We literally just got rid of our snow, and I know it's May. And I'm also a 15-year breast cancer survivor. So that kind of has led me to the work that I do now from home in preventative wellness. So I know that you're an entrepreneur, obviously, but I'd love the details. Give me the story. What do you do? How long have you been doing it? Give me all the fun details. Again, thanks for the connection. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. Like, that's it. Literally, that's it. But if I could tell you how many conversations come from that, how many customers have come from that, how many new business partners have come from that. Why? The trust that is developed in that one gesture is just huge. Don't be afraid to keep these conversations going. I know that it can feel a little awkward to carry on conversations with people that you wouldn't know if you passed them on the street, right? But all I can tell you is it's networking. And we do it so effortlessly in the real world. Don't get in your head. It's not different here on social media, but you have to do the work. Lean in, be a little vulnerable, talk to people, let them get to know you. Because at the end of the day, we're all a hot mess. At the end of the day, we are all in this social media sandbox together, and we are all at the mercy of the noise, right? We all are. But when we lean in and we center everything around developing trust, you're going to be giving people what they ache for, which is just to trust. And we're going to rise above you guys. We are going to shine. We are going to help so many people along the way. Just center everything around developing trust. I promise you. That is where we all hold the key. So that is my time with you all today. Darren?
All right. Thank you, Jen. Really some great insights for everybody. And she is one of the most consistent leaders in all of Melaleuca. Now, none of us could have predicted this past year, right? But thank goodness Melaleuca Residual Income was there for so many. With residual income, the consistent work you put in today pays off for those times when life happened and when you need it the most. Here's new Senior Director Michelle Brown from Western Virginia.
I was working for a housing finance company that was going through a series of org changes. But in the middle of the year, my position was eliminated. Here was the answer to the prayer, right? So now, me and God are having a very interesting conversation. So he's like, I want you to really get over the fact that the job is gone really quick. And I want you to focus on your Melaleuca business because I'm going to give you good success. And you better start writing again. So while it was a year of great upheaval, what I'm grateful to God for is that I never missed a beat. I didn't miss a mortgage payment. Thank you, Jesus. I didn't miss a car payment. I didn't go into any kind of financial distress because I have spent 3 years building my Melaleuca business part-time and helping other people do the same thing. So my residual income has grown over time, of course. As I'm hitting this 3-year anniversary, I think I'm just under $3,000. And that's really exciting. John has customers after 23 years in Melaleuca that are still shopping with him. I want that same legacy. I want that same testimony down the road. And the only way to get to that, as I'm teaching my team, is that you actively engage your customers. When Paul did my overview and we were, listening, I was listening. I was like, oh, wait a minute. They'll pay my car note? Okay, wait a minute. Sign me up for that. I don't know what about it. I just got excited about it. I ended up getting, I have a Volvo XC60 2018. Right? I love that SUV. Love. So, car bonus. Got the truck. But the beautiful thing about it was because Melaleuca was paying my car note, in 2019, I was able to buy my mom a car. It wasn't hard to find something newer than what she had, right? But, something that was simple enough for her to navigate. And so I did. And, she got a 2013 Ford Focus. It's 4 doors, but great heat, great air. she came outside and I said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got you something." And she said, "What?" And so she started looking around. I said, "Oh, right." I said, "Oh, here you go." And she said, she just looked and she just started screaming and laughing and crying at the same time and dancing all around. And to me, that was worth it. It was worth it. And to surprise her for Christmas. And then, the beauty of the business I'm building, I paid the car off in 3 months. That's worth sharing.
Thank you, Michelle. Now, still ahead, we'll be announcing more President's Club earners. And you can also see we have a great lineup coming your way. You're not going to want to miss a minute. Now, since some of you may have been sitting for a little bit, I think it's time to get moving and get ready for the rest of convention. Here's Susan.
Hey guys, it's Susan. It was great working out with you this morning, and I love that your health is a top priority. I know you've been sitting for a while, so stand up and let me show you 2 exercises you can do from your kitchen counter in between cooking or meal prepping. Place your hands about shoulder width apart and extend your feet away from the counter. Lean into the counter, bringing your chest towards the counter without touching, and bring your arms about a 90-degree angle from the shoulders. You have a full 90-degree angle. Good job, you guys. If this is too easy, drop to the floor and give me 20 push-ups. Good job. Keep going. The next exercise is a counter squat. So you'll place your hands shoulder width apart, sit back in a pretend chair, come up onto the toes for a calf raise, and come back down. You got it. If that's too easy, hold it down for 5 pulses. 3, 2, and 1, and up for 5 pulses. You got it. I've been a happy Melaleuca customer for 24 years and a degreed and certified trainer. And I'm still blown away by our exclusive Melaleuca products. My favorite is the Peak Performance Pack because I need a lot of energy. I love helping people reach their goals, and I can see myself doing it for a really long time. I've been taking Peak for many years, and I can sprint faster and lift heavier weights than I could in my 20s, and I'm not 20 anymore. I'm actually 20 plus 30, and I feel amazing. I need to be in great shape to help my family and thousands of you reach your goals. With Peak, I can live my passion and purpose with joy. As thousands of you know, in the R3 Facebook group, we focus on teaching practical steps so you can establish healthy habits. And we're focusing every day on new habits. We focus on real food, and we focus on how to use Melaleuca's products to achieve the most effective results. Today, we're going to make a decadent dessert using a cup or 2 of Greek yogurt, depending on how many servings you want to make. You can use plain or vanilla, and 2 scoops of ProFlex 20 or Elevate. Mix that up till it's nice and creamy. And then dip some fresh raspberries in melted chocolate chips. They're going to top the dessert and then set them to dry. Let me show you what the delicious finished dessert looks like. It's ready, and I think I'm ready. Tonight is my favorite night of the year, the awards gala. I can't wait to celebrate your biggest accomplishments of the year. Dress up with me. Let's celebrate together. I think I'll wear this one. Or this one? Or this one? No, not jammies, not this year. Let's dress up. This is the one. Yes, I'm ready. And I'd like to formally invite you to the R3 Facebook group and register for the June 1st Show Up Challenge. Let's show up and reach our goals together. Cheers, you guys. Enjoy the rest of convention.
In December 2020, we said, who would like to row with us? Yeah, indoor rowing. Possibly the best full body workout you can do. No matter your age, no matter your fitness level, whether you've tried it before or not, it can change your life. You just need to start rowing. Set goals, work hard, shatter those goals, repeat. To help, we started a little online rowing club. In just months, it became the largest indoor rowing club in the world. Anyone can afford it. Anyone can do it. We have 3,500 members. We've had more than 3,000 deeply discounted rowers shipped to Melaleuca households. And so far, we've rowed over 100 million meters. But it's just the beginning. All that sweat, all that determination, all that grit. It's paying off. Big time.
Team Melaleuca is going to be a blessing to all of our lives. Strive to be a little more fit from 1 week to the next. You will see measurable results in your own physical fitness your very first week.
Team Melaleuca is enhancing lives. We are wellness. So what's it going to be? What's stopping you? Join us and enjoy setting personal records, cheering others on, unbeatable community support, and the best health of your life.
This is MNN.
Good evening. Welcome to Melaleuca Network News. From your anchor desk this evening, I'm Mark Atha, my co-anchor, Jim Head.
Marketing executives, we have learned, are starting to lobby Melaleuca about the check deposit video.
Yes.
And the time extended. They want the time extended at the end of the video. You know, you have like 15 seconds to hit that button to put the check in the bank, right? So they're lobbying to get that time extended to allow people who are taking a shower, you know, making breakfast, brewing their morning mountain cabin coffee, you know, while this is running. So give them time to get back.
Makes total sense. Makes total sense. I mean, I've watched that thing 3 or 4 times on more than a couple of occasions.
Yeah, me too. Now, turning our attention to the new world record set by Melaleuca CEO Frank L. Vandersloot, MNN is pleased to report an additional earth-shattering accomplishment by Frank recently.
Just recently. You've seen it firsthand. Many of you have already experienced it. It is earth-shattering. Frank has opened a Twitter account.
That's right. Mr. Vandersloot has taken to the Twittersphere with frequency and with surprising adeptness. Quickly amassing over 50,000 followers, Frank has really bought into today's social media environment, although he may need some counsel on his lingo.
On the lingo.
Yeah,
on the lingo. For example, we recently caught up with Mr. Vandersloot and asked about his overnight notoriety, and he responded, and I quote, "I am humbled to see just how many twits are already following me."
Finally tonight, Melaleuca customers who experience difficulties swallowing pills. Lots of pills. Lots and lots of pills. They will be thrilled to learn that the company is bringing back a product that was successfully tested a few years ago. Matter of fact, we covered it right here at MNN a few years ago. That's right. It's actually the return we're announcing tonight of the Peak Performance Suppository Pack. We knew you'd love it.
You'll love it.
Absolutely.
And in conjunction, the company will also be bringing back a favorite monthly promotion to kind of tie in with this product and maybe help a little bit with self-administration. So this month, just for the month of May, every customer that enrolls 4 new preferred customers during the month will receive this handy selfie applicator stick.
And I gotta say, that really works. It's very easy to use. Very easy to use.
No problem. All right, folks.
That's it?
That's it for this rendition of Melaleuca Network News. See you next year.
Next year. We'll see you next year.
A big thanks to the other brothers. One of Melaleuca's traditions at convention is the talent show, and a big part of that over the years has been the other brothers. Thanks, guys. You guys are hilarious. And again, thank you, Susan. Like Susan said, see you at the gala tonight. It's time to dress up, time to celebrate. We want you to share your pictures on the convention app, and we'll share some of the very best pictures with you during gala. And are you part of the Big R3 Challenge in June yet? Registration is open right now. I hope you're coming to see that no one does wellness like Melaleuca. We are the wellness company. And even though there are a lot of companies out there hopping on the wellness bandwagon, nobody has our legacy or matches our product lineup that provides solutions across every area of total wellness. And nobody else has the Peak Performance Pack. Backed by 4 human clinical studies, there's simply nothing else out there on the market that even comes close. It stands without peer, without equivalent. And yesterday's announcement about the Peak Performance Pack, it's just one more advancement in a long series of innovative achievements. We have every reason to believe that this incredible pack is better poised than ever to change a greater and greater number of lives. But science is, by definition, based on evidence. So, let's take a moment to review the research that backs this jaw-dropping product. As you know, scientific study after scientific study of various vitamin supplementations throughout the last several decades have left the medical and scientific community believing that vitamin supplementation has no measurable benefit on people's health. It's impossible to argue with those scientific studies. And it's important to note that all of those studies were done on our competitors' supplements, not on Melaleuca's products. And there's been dozens of them. And they all prove the same thing. There is little to no benefit from using our competitors' products. And that's why we felt it was so important to test the Peak Performance Pack with our patented oligo-processed minerals with several human studies. And the first study that we did was the Freiburg study, which was performed in Freiburg, Germany on 48 healthy individuals. And it was conducted by some of the most renowned scientists in the field of free radicals. And the results of the Freiburg study, they were nothing short of astounding. Every single one of the 25 health markers that we measured saw significant improvements. Participants saw their heart health, their heart rate, their cholesterol, and blood pressure go down. Their nitric oxide went up, and their insulin response improved. But more importantly, they saw inflammation significantly decrease, and free radical activity while resting dropped by 22%. And during exercise, free radical activity dropped by nearly 26%. And this is critical because inflammation and free radicals, they're at the root of most degenerative diseases and a primary contributor to the aging process. The Freiburg study also helped us better understand why so many Melaleuca customers repeatedly tell us they feel years younger. They feel healthy, energetic, strong, and vibrant. They can participate in activities they previously couldn't, and they sleep better at night. And when we first heard those stories, it all made sense. With the right nutrition, our bodies can attain true peak performance. But was it really the pack that was making the difference in all of those people's lives? Just to be sure, as a follow-up to the Freiburg study, we conducted a deprivation study that tracked participants' key health markers after they stopped taking the Peak Performance Pack. And just as we suspected, not long after participants stopped taking the pack, all the health benefits they'd enjoyed started to disappear, taking them back to the state they were in prior to the Freiburg study. And in 2016, we conducted the Sterling study, which replicated the same protocols as the Freiburg study, but was conducted in the United States with a more diverse population of participants. The results of the 12-week study came back almost identical to the Freiburg study, further confirming the power of the Peak Performance Pack. By 2018, we turned our attention to the Peak Performance Heart Health Pack and had a new study designed to monitor the effects of this pack on healthy individuals over a much longer period of time, 12 months instead of 12 weeks. And the Heart Health study shed even more light on the power of the Peak Performance Pack. With the addition of Phytomega, CoQ10+, and vitamin K2D3, participants achieved an optimal level of heart health with sustained lower levels of inflammation, free radicals, cholesterol, blood pressure, and a dozen other heart-related markers. You know, we have thousands of stories about the Peak Performance Pack and how it has improved people's health. And it's important that when we hear those stories, that we don't make claims that the Peak Performance Pack will cure any diseases. It won't. The Peak Performance Pack doesn't cure anything, but it's amazing how great nutrition will help the body function at its peak. And in many cases, better health is simply a matter of better nutrition. And the evidence proving the effectiveness of the Peak Performance Pack on human health continues to stack up. And so does the demand for this one-of-a-kind product. So, to show you how we're meeting that demand, I pre-recorded a behind-the-curtain look at just a few of the investments that we're making in our manufacturing facilities. I'm here at Melaleuca's powder plant facility in Idaho Falls. And this is where we're investing millions of dollars in new machinery that'll allow us to manufacture the Peak Performance Pack in this new way. Our first major investment is called a Munson Rotary Batch Mixer. This unique machine is important because it allows us to blend the ingredients of 4 separate supplements into one combined mix. It uses a set of rotating plow agitators that create a gentle, undulating wave of blending. And this is critical because it ensures a complete and even mix of the ingredients without creating unnecessary heat, friction, or pressure that a standard blender would introduce. And we'll be using it on all Peak Performance Pack blends going forward. Over here is the machine that puts all of those finely mixed ingredients into the acid-resistant capsules. It's called the Feti EC20 capsule machine, and it represents the pinnacle of nutraceutical encapsulation technology. This sophisticated feat of German engineering allows incredible precision, as each capsule is filled with the identical quantity of product. It uses an electrical field to check capsule fill levels and keep everything within extremely tight specifications. Why make this investment? Because the Peak Performance Pack is going to continue to increase in demand, and we're prepared to meet that demand. In addition to the machinery, we've also added a third shift to our manufacturing schedule, and that's a first in Melaleuca history. We'll be running almost around the clock, ensuring only the freshest, best made, and most researched supplements in the world make it to you and your shoppers without delay. The world needs peak performance, and we're ready to deliver wellness. We just need you to share this amazing news. Let everyone know that a life of greater health and vibrancy is within reach through the Peak Performance Pack.
When I was 22 years old, I attempted to run my first full marathon. I chose New York City, and the entire time that I trained for it, I was plagued with so much discomfort, but I was determined to toe that start line. I did, and I tore my meniscus in mile 18. I was completely devastated. I mean, it was enough for me to hang up my running shoes and walk away from it altogether. Life went on. I had 4 babies. During that time, the only exercise that I did was chasing after them. In 2016, I became a Melaleuca customer. One of the first things I threw in my cart was Peak Performance. I felt so much healthier all around. It made me start thinking that I could run again. So I did. And I went back and I took New York City. I'm running so much stronger and faster than I ever was in my 20s. I take Peak Performance so that I can be my healthiest and my happiest self.
I'm so happy that I have my Peak Performance Pack because I love to exercise. I love to work out. And as you get older, sometimes those things get harder and you have achiness in your joints and your feet might bother you. And what I notice is that, with my Peak Performance, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have the achiness. I can go work out. I have energy. I just feel better. I sleep better. That's what's been so important. When I go to the doctor, I get great results. I'm looking at my blood pressure. I'm looking at that A1C. My A1C is always low. It's like 5 point something. So I'm like, yes, Peak Performance, it does change lives. And I feel like, I call it living at your peak. And that's what I tell people. If you want to be your best self, then you need supplementation. And with the Peak Performance, it's going to let you live at your peak. It's going to let you be your best self. With Peak, I can be my most active self.
When it comes to peak performance, I realized that I had hereditary high blood pressure. It literally ran consistently about 220 over 175. That's stroke level blood. That's stroke level. That's not good. I don't care. You don't even have to be a medical professional. That's not good. So, especially if you want to live long term, as Frank has said thousands of times, my blood pressure is now 120 over 68. My markers are back in regulation levels, which, I mean, I'm ecstatic. The way that makes me feel, I truly feel that the Peak Performance Pack has extended my life. I will be here for my grandchildren. I will be here to play and do all those things with them. With Peak, I can be there for my grandkids.
Peak Performance Pack has changed my life totally. As a matter of fact, the Peak Performance Pack has saved my life. When I was 16, I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, and so every time when I breathed, it would hurt. And eventually, one of my diaphragms quit working. I couldn't lay down and flat anymore because my lungs weren't working right. In 2013, I was put on oxygen 24/7. Over the course of 5 years, my doctor, when he retired, said he was surprised I was still alive. And I've stuck with the Peak Performance Pack faithfully. Now I'm off my oxygen, but I've golfed 15 rounds this year without oxygen. I've rode 9,000 meters on my new Concept 2 rover without oxygen. So I'm doing things that I couldn't do before. And it's all, the only thing that I've done different, I think, has been faithful to the Peak Performance Total every day. And I feel like a pretty happy guy, 68 years old. With Peak, I can breathe.
I've been taking the Peak Performance Pack consistently now for over a year. What changed my life pretty much is I went to the doctors to get a physical. And my doctor said to me, Frank, he goes, you're way over 300 pounds. How many 300-pound people you see walking around today in the streets? COVID just kicked in at the time, and I got really nervous. It was attacking people that are overweight and had a weak immune system. So I made sure that I took Peak Performance faithfully every day and every evening. And I also incorporated the R3 program, so it's really changed my life. I went back to the doctors 6 months later. I lost over 70 pounds. All my key health markers improved. My cholesterol came down, my triglycerides came down, my sugar levels improved. She couldn't believe it, right? She was amazed. It was all because of Peak Performance and being consistent. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life at 58 years old right now. I've got more energy, more stamina. I feel like I'm in my 30s again. Peak Performance has changed my life entirely. I'm actually taking up skiing again. I haven't skied in years. I feel amazing. I feel great. Thank you, Peak Performance. With Peak, I can hit the slopes again at age 58.
I take Peak Performance so I can maintain my awesome blood work.
With Peak, I